What's up, guys? My name is Horacio.
And I'm Nurys, and we will be on Zach Nichols' podcast, so you guys will want to tune in, and we're gonna spill some tea, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Zach Nichols podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Zach Nichols. What you waving over, man?
I was just covering your notes.
Oh, you don't.
I was trying to fuck you up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
More importantly, though,
We got two monster special guests in the building.
the newest challenge relationship. What's the matter with you guys? Don't you know that those relationships never work?
I mean, it worked for you.
Very true.
Hold up, man. They need their round of applause. Miss
Yes.
Nurys and Mr. Horacio.
Thank you.
I made sure to wait till you were here to say your name right. I just want to make sure you know that. It's Horacio, right?
Horacio, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. Everybody pronounces the H, but there's no H in
The H
Spanish.
is silent.
The H is silent.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Noted. Good.
Yeah. Welcome to Detroit, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
You guys-
Someone went on a run this morning. He loves Detroit.
Did you do the 8-mile challenge?
Yeah, you went
do
to
it?
email? No, you didn't.
So what we do normally with our guests is we give them a thermos of coffee, $500, and we drop them off in Joy at 8 Mile, and we pick them up the next day. Whoever
Count me out.
Exactly. Whoever's got more money, more coffee.
No, you'll love this. We were dropping them Horacio off at the hotel, and there was like a swamp right there. He's like, "Yeah, I'm jumping in there." I was like, "Do not jump
And
in
he
there."
Yeah.
literally said, "Doesn't it look good?" He's like, "It looks so cold." No.
We don't have the insurance money for that.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
I
Yeah.
don't have the insurance money for that.
You guys have nice weather out here. That's why. It just,
You brought it with you. It was shitty until you came from El Paso and brought the sunshine. This is the hottest day of the
Yeah.
year.
The little
Yeah.
LA El Paso cocktail you brought is doing us a lot of justice. We can play golf right now. It feels so good
Yeah,
outside.
we canceled it because we had you guys here. So.
Yep.
Go after.
So, there is so much to talk about. We're just
Yeah.
gonna get right into it. Let's start with the episode. So we come back from the conquest elimination where you beat you. Oh, how did that feel losing to your girlfriend, man?
But the real answer.
The real answer, no. I was genuinely happy. I was extremely proud of her.
Just telling you right now, if I lost to Jenna in an elimination round, I'd never come back on the show. Just kidding. No, I'm
Listen, Jenna's a beast, though.
not at puzzles.
Okay.
Neither of us really are.
Yeah,
Here's my thing. That it had to be an equalizer, but as soon as we saw that I said to him, like, if the elimination round is the same as the first one where it's 3 puzzles, I was like, they have no shot. Because I said this last week, you led Nelson to a puzzle win. It's like, again, a blind guy on a ropes course, you let him through. So the fact that I was like, dude, don't counter out, and then you won it, I was like, damn.
That's my first question. How did you get so good at puzzles?
Yeah.
I've honestly, I mean, I probably should. I mean, everybody knows if they played with me. I actually love puzzles. I do them almost every day. Like I casually do them on my phone. I have puzzle books at home. I've always been someone that enjoys doing puzzles for fun. So.
And you didn't do bad on the puzzles either. That was the
No,
thing.
he's actually really
you were
good.
crushing them.
I mean, I felt good. The little hate that I had received online, it was just like, oh, work on your puzzles and math. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm good. I think what went down, I mean, that's whatever.
If you
but-
had to lose, a puzzle's the way to go. That's what I always say. Because I got beaten a puzzle to lose like $450,000.
Well, Kylan made a very big point to tell us, like, hey, Horacio, the rumor was I might have to help him or whatever, but you were beating him very easily in that first one. So he made a very, very point to say no, this guy's got a brain on him as well as Braun. So let me ask you this, what is there a moment either in the challenge or in your life where you're like, wow, in these crunch time moments, I'm a critical thinker. I know how to do it when it matters in terms of puzzles for you.
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I really don't think it was the puzzles. I think I was just finally locked in. They obviously don't show it, but right before we actually started the elimination, TJ came up to me with Sky. Sky is the head producer.
Oh, I know Sky, yeah.
And they came over and they were just, telling us congrats, whatever, sucks you guys are all down here. And TJ just looked at me and was like, don't count yourself out. I know that you're a woman. I know you're going against the 2 strongest guys, but give it your all, because genuinely I went in there saying, I'm throwing it. I'm throwing it. I'm going to give it to them. One of them deserves to actually win more than I do. And I was like, and then if one of them wins, they're definitely going to go to the final, and then they will win and just break me off. So that was my thought.
And we had heard that you were a little bit conflicted one of the night or two before, even thinking about leaving yourself, just overwhelmed with the situation. Is that true?
Yeah, 100%. I knew, I packed my bags the night before because I knew I was going into elimination the next day. I didn't care what anybody said to me. I didn't care what Jay said, Olivia, Michelle, anybody. I didn't trust nobody. I didn't believe anybody. I said, I know for a fact I felt it in my bones. I'm going in. So I'm gonna do you guys the favor and I'm gonna pack now. And I did. I packed early. The next day when they were like, "Hey, Nurys, you're going into elimination. You have to pack." I was like, "My bags are already packed, actually." So yeah, that was my thought process.
My bags stayed packed the entire
yeah,
season.
they were. So for me, like that was it. TJ telling me that to like give it my all and that not to count myself out because I was a woman. And then as I was there, I was like, wait, like he's absolutely right. Let me at least give it my all. And if I lose, I lose. But imagine not giving your all and then you lose and you're like, well, maybe. Like what would have happened if I would have tried?
It's a shitty feeling to not give your all.
Right.
Yeah.
And like having the skill of being able to do a puzzle is a lot different than the lights are on, the moment is now, and you perform. So like that's a big deal. Round of applause for Nurys, please. For real. That's
And
awesome.
I don't think Horacio would have appreciated you throwing it, right?
For sure.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one thing that made me change my mind about throwing it was when TJ said it was one winner. So at that point, I was like, okay, I have to give it my. If it was going to be two winners, I was definitely going to throw it for both him and Kylan. Like that was my thought process. The moment he said it's one, I was like, well, I kind of have to try now because, like, if he stays and me and Kylan go, or Kylan stays and we go, I was like, I'm going to be upset either way.
Sure.
I was like, so I got to give it my all and then, let the best man win at that point instead of just throwing it.
In solidarity throughout the whole like conquest elimination situation, you guys weren't telling anyone any details, but something tells me you might have told her a little bit about it, or no?
No. So I was actually super annoyed with him because when he first came back, he was like, I'm not telling you anything. Trust me, it's for your own good. And same thing with Kylan.
okay.
And I was like, but I'm your best friend. Like, tell me what happened.
Yeah, I
And
would've
he
been
refused to tell me.
pissed.
So I didn't know. When we're finally going to the elimination, we get on the bus driving to there, and they both him and Kylan were like, okay, so now we're telling.
Yeah.
Wait.
What was the logic behind that?
I did tell you the night prior as well.
You didn't tell me what it was.
Isn't it?
Well, how did you know it was going to be the
Yes.
same? You didn't know it was going to be the same, though, either.
No,
Good
he didn't
point.
know. The only thing he had told me
I told
was,
you how it went down.
yeah, but you didn't tell me. You guys, both you and Kylan went in detail to like how everything actually went and the 3 courses and everything else, the 3 puzzles, and then you guys explained to me what happened with Zaza and everything. You guys told me that on the bus. You guys didn't tell me that before. You literally didn't.
Okay.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't.
Okay, I told you the night prior, and then when we were in the bus, Kylan jumped in, and I was like, I already told her because he asked me, "Did you already tell her?" I said, "Yes."
A little trouble
I
in
don't
paradise.
remember that.
This is so cute. Okay.
I don't believe him if he says that. I don't remember, but I guess.
It's going to happen a million more times. I don't know how many times I've had to share my plans with Jenna every single day. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, so wait, what are you doing today? And I'm like,
It's in my
Us women
calendar.
are always right. I don't know about you
That's the
guys,
truth.
but-
So monster win. You come back to the house and you're kind of obligated to embrace everyone, and you're forced to give Jay the fakest hug I've
The fakest.
ever seen in my life.
You
Here's
can
my
see it in my face. I was just like,
here's my question. Going back to that moment, was there anyone you actually wanted to see, and anyone left in the house that gave you any sort of comfort at all?
To be honest, no. When I came back, I really was like, yeah, fuck everybody. That's really my mindset. But I didn't want to go in there and like tear the house apart. I didn't want to go in there because I had to think. I'm like, all right, we still have one more elimination, and if I can do anything to kind of like get the pressure off of me, I'm gonna try to do that. So I'm gonna go in there, get them scared that I eliminated these 2 guys.
Yeah.
Tell them fuck you guys because at the end of the day, fuck you guys. I don't like you guys.
To be honest, fuck all you guys.
Yeah, no, literally every single one of you, like I
Yeah.
said. And that's just, that's how I felt. But I didn't want to go in there and do too much. Aside from that, I honestly, watching it back, I think the only person that was genuinely happy for me was Michelle. Yeah, she was the only person that was actually happy to see. He obviously disagrees, but she actually really was the only one that was genuinely happy to see.
sweet little lies.
Tell me lies. We have our thing with Michelle. Okay.
I think she's a witch.
this is
I'm
for
with you.
Yep.
You're with her.
I swear. She listens to Stevie Nicks on repeat.
This is for you, Horacio. Going back to the previous episode, when you come back from elimination, Nurys tells you everyone was shook, and then you gave Olivia the attention, love, and embrace she had been yearning for all season. Talk about what you said in that moment and the significance of the pinky promise, because we all know that made it serious. So tell us about that moment and like what made you kind of show a little bit of emotion in that moment.
Well, I think watching her in tears is obviously like, wow, okay. Because the whole entire season, as you guys saw, she wasn't sure about me and all that. I don't know exactly why, but once I saw her in tears, I'm like, well, okay, she's now on my side. She finally like opened up her eyes and she's like, oh yeah, I need him here. And so that's why I was just like, look, everything's okay. Nurys made the right decision. You're here, you're safe, and that's all I wanted, right? And then, I mean, the pinky promise, we didn't really like promise anything there, but it was just like,
No, it's
like,
just
I
love.
got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
got you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't ever
sure.
doubt me.
For sure.
But you know, that was short lived, probably like a day. And then,
Yeah, that was crazy.
Literally.
Can
short-lived.
you
Because even when I was watching that, even I was like, oh shit, they're all safe. I did not think that she would do that. And man, I bet she wished she did, because that would have made her a legend. If she made the right move there,
It would have been an iconic move.
it would have been huge.
I'm not
Because, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. I reached out to production to get like actual footage of me and her discussing the night prior and the morning of to do that exact move. To like, if Michelle for some reason saved her, for her to save me, I save Horacio. Horacio saves Kylan, and then we were gonna save Mariah because we knew that's who Michelle wanted to save, and that was the plan.
Right, so helping everybody out.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, what the bottom three is Colleen, Berna, and Corey?
Emmanuel, probably.
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
we didn't care. We didn't care who the bottom three
Sure.
were. We were like, once we pick Mariah, Mariah will save James. Whoever James saves, cool. As long as the other three people who genuinely, at that point, we get that they were a part of Jay's alliance, but they were at the bottom. So we were like, okay, Jay and Michelle can't really be too pissed because they're at the bottom of your alliance, and you're getting to save your main people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
We'll definitely talk more about that move. Let's continue. So, like you said, you basically told everybody, like every single one of you guys, have you always like thrived in confrontational moments, and like who taught you to like talk that shit? Like,
Oh, my older brother and my mom. I feel like we're all kind of the exact same people.
Sure.
I grew up watching my mom not take shit from anybody. Like I grew up watching her yell at men, whoever. She's gonna stand her ground and she's gonna win always. And then it was the same thing with my brother. I actually watched the challenge because my brother has always kind of been like super positive, but also like, don't let anyone mess with you ever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they're big, small, skinny, fat, like whatever the case may be, like stand your ground.
yeah, give bro a
And-
shout out. What's his name?
Oh, my brother's name's Bam. Yeah.
Bam. Shout out to Bam.
Yeah.
Is that short for black and mild?
That's awesome. Okay.
It's my favorite thing to smoke when I golf.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The wood tip. Just a little recommendation. Okay. So you come back. Olivia's very distraught, confiding in Michelle, and Michelle goes, "This sucks," and I get it.
Oh, dude. She's DTE, the gas company. I hear you, but let me tell you how that's not gonna benefit me.
Yeah, I hear you, and I made you do it, but it's okay because I
Yeah.
say it's okay.
Yeah, and don't ever put my game in jeopardy or anyone that's gonna like. But I hear you.
All right. There's a question coming, but there's a long lead up. So, Nurys, a few weeks ago, you made a decision that kept Jay safe and put Horacio and Kylan in jeopardy, which I criticized you for very openly. And Michelle essentially puts her and Olivia's friendship on the line in a split-second moment, right? Basically, gun to your head situation for Olivia, where she chose to go with the plan, leaving both of you vulnerable. Even Colleen went from calling out the massive alliance to doing almost everything that they wanted to do, with the exception of saving you. So here's my question. What made both of them so good at the art of manipulation throughout this
Are you
season?
talking about Jay and Michelle?
Yeah, what made them so good? Because they manipulated everyone.
Without winning, they were like, they didn't win.
It was the friendships.
Yeah, not
it
you.
was genuinely the friendships. Like they were the only. I don't think people realize the entire season of 39 was all rookies from 37 and rookies from 38. Jay and Michelle were the only two people that were on both seasons.
Got it.
So they're the only ones that have connections to everybody from 37 and everybody from 38. And so and then obviously like you have the history of Emmanuel hooking up with Michelle before, so now she's trying to protect him. And I think what the weirdest part about it actually was that Jay really did have Kylan and Horacio's back from at the beginning, right?
Like, actually?
That was supposedly a thing, right? All of a sudden, obviously, we know when you room with certain people, then that kind of affects your relationships and everything in the house. He then became friends with Emmanuel in the house.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny when he consistently like was saying, "Oh yeah, you went against Emmanuel, you went against the group." I was like, Emmanuel was never my friend. I never even spoke to him until TJ told us, "Hey, you made it to the final."
Yeah.
Never spoke to him. Literally never. Actually, aside from the time that he was trying to attack me with Jay, literally never spoke. I knew nothing about Emmanuel other than that he danced and he was Romanian, and that's because everybody knew that.
Well, and he's an idiot because he's like
100%.
He's like sitting there saying like, when you came back and saying like, you can't get rid of me. And he's like, well, we didn't really try. And I'm like, wait a second. You put her in against the two toughest competitors in the
Exactly.
house. What do you mean you didn't try? You gave her a death warrant And she, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this guy has like, he's almost, that's like kind of Aesop-y.
Right.
Like you have no clue what's even going on.
I think Emmanuel's
if
actually the worst one out of everybody in the cast.
You think he's the worst competitor?
No, not the worst competitor, just
Or
like
just
the
the
worst
worst
human.
yeah.
Just,
If you actually think that they didn't try when you put it, like, I was like, the two strongest guys in the house you sent her against, and you're trying to say you didn't try to get rid of her. I was like, this guy is a moron. That is a waste of a cast member, in my opinion. If you can't be honest in that situation, even let someone else shine. Like that was bad.
Yeah, come on, face tattoo. Think you're tough. So
Never trust a guy with a face tat.
Speaking of the face tat, they cut to Emmanuel joining Mariah and Jay as they celebrate the fact that Kylan and Horacio are gone.
Little chest bump.
And they made it to it. How did you guys feel in that moment? I'll start with you, Horacio. How did you feel in that moment when
I'll
you
be
watched
honest,
it?
I watched certain parts that she showed me through FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch the episode, but I did.
It's a way to go.
I saw that though, and yeah.
I was like, look at this. I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I definitely giggled, but absolutely not. I was disgusted.
mean,
and obviously, like Mariah texted me yesterday, being like, "Oh, tell Horacio I said I'm sorry, and like he can dance in the future against me or whatever." And he was like, he just stayed quiet. He was just like,
It just
yeah,
if you're gonna talk such a big game, and this is specifically for Jay and Emmanuel, right? The entire season, like, oh, we're not scared, we're not scared. Whenever Emmanuel would get drunk, he would come up to me. He's like, look, I get it. You're the guy. Everybody wants you to win, but I'm gonna be the one to take you out. And he's like, if I ever go down into elimination, I'm gonna call you down. I'm gonna be that guy and all this. And I'm like, cool story, man.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
one of those guys.
Yeah, he's one of
Oh,
those.
cool, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he always wanted to
TV
claim
tough
that.
guy.
But then
Yeah.
you see him dancing, celebrating because I'm gone. It's like, yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would if I'm in the game and I didn't have to run the final against you, I might dance as well. So, like I can't. I mean, I'm just being honest. It'd be like because like here's the thing. I did my homework, and I'm watching 38, and I'm watching Jordan losing the game that I expect him to win it, and I call Jordan. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? He's like, dude, Horacio's the real deal. Like he's tough, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, all right, if Jordan vouches for you, then that's legit.
That was my question for later, but how does it feel to have somebody that's renowned around the world as being one of, if not the GOAT, talk about you being one of the
I
strongest?
mean, there was no
competitors?
shit coming from. He straight up Jordan, hand on the Bible, was like real deal, legit athlete, 185, 6'1". And then you got the gentleman's pardon from CT.
Yeah.
You looked like a mom, like
was
watching her
so
son get the
proud.
varsity letter. You were like, and you're out there getting the gentleman's pardon. So like the hype is real, isn't it? You can be honest.
How does it feel, man?
yeah. Well,
The hype is real, isn't it?
it's I guess an honor just because, you know, in terms of Jordan, I have a lot of respect for him because I feel like we're very similar how we compete in that aspect, and so I know that day that in Ride or Die season, everybody's like, this is a pay-per-view event, and him and I had already spoken about it prior. We're like, it's gonna be you and I, and we're gonna get it, and so once I got that win, it was like okay, and I think that's when I guess people really started to see me as a true competitor, and then this last season. I think every time a champ walked in, they kind of just like, you know, acknowledge me a little bit, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, but that's it.
Every male that came in, every male champ that came in, they all went out of their way to be like, Horacio, you're here, you're amazing, you're a really good stand-up guy. I've heard nothing but great things. Every single one of them like came in and gave him his flowers, which I thought was super nice.
Yeah, that felt nice.
Well, I said that if I had gotten brought in, which they didn't even call me, but let's say I did, and I'm looking at I didn't know anyone besides from what I've learned from doing the podcast, didn't know anyone out there.
Yeah.
But because Jordan had vouched for you, I was like, I would have to come in and basically ask you, like, what do you want me to do? Because Jordan vouched for you. So that's a big deal.
Thank you.
That's a lot of social equity. And as the kids
is.
today would say, you're him right now.
Yeah.
You are him right now.
no,
so.
right now,
No,
right here,
you're
this
him,
lady.
I'm her. That's fine.
That's right. And so real quick, and just so you guys know, you guys are in the GOAT Media Studios. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's the greatest of his time and the greatest of her time. So it is very appropriate that you're in the building. Round of applause for the greatest of his time and the greatest of her time, please. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So we'll get back to this episode here. Obviously, Michelle got purged this week, but is there any part of you that respects the Alliance member strategy? Because most of them made it to the final as planned.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you kind of have to give respect. Honestly, I will. He doesn't like them, so that's fine. But I do. I have to give them respect regardless because at the end of the day, them kissing Jay and Michelle's ass got them to the final. So hey, like you did something right. Not speaking up when you wanted to, not having a backbone that got you to the final. So congrats.
Yeah, exactly.
know?
I mean,
And so-
I'll do that. I'll say that as well. I don't want to say I respect them as competitors.
That yeah,
But,
not
you know,
all of
they
them.
did
not all
what
of them,
they had to
definitely
do, and you know them they made it farther than I did. So props to them.
And then, okay, so I have a question for you, Zach, right? Because obviously you've
Hot
played the
seat.
game. So no, just not even
A few times.
But okay, so
Once or twice.
would you prefer to make it to the final with a bunch of layups and possibly lose to a layup, or go to the final with a bunch of actual competitors and then, let the best man win?
That concludes the free preview of the Zach Nichols podcast.
So go to Patreon and subscribe to see the rest of the shit that we talk.
Go do it now.